I never thought I'd be that woman, but here I am. My name is Vanessa Rhodes. I'm 30 years old, and I did the one thing I swore I'd never do. I sabotaged the best relationship I ever had. For what a fleeting night of temptation in Las Vegas. People look at me now like I'm a villain, like I'm incapable of remorse. But they don't see the whole picture. They don't understand how one bad decision can cost you everything. I met Nathan 3 years ago. He wasn't the kind of man I'd usually fall for. He was steady, a bit quiet, worked in cybersecurity, and didn't try to impress with flashy words or grand gestures. But there was something in the way he listened, the way he actually heard me. I was honest with him from the start. I told him about my past, that I wasn't some innocent wallflower. I had my wild years, casual flings, parties, no serious regrets, just life lived on my own terms. Most guys would have flinched, but not Nathan. He looked me in the eyes and said, "Your past doesn't scare me. I care about who you are now." God, I fell hard for him. We dated for 3 steady years. My parents adored him, especially my dad, who bonded with Nathan over fixing up my mom's old Ford every weekend. My mom would cook these extravagant Sunday meals. Nathan would sit through Dad's long-winded stories, like he was hearing ancient family lore. When Nathan proposed, it felt like a chapter closing and another opening. The ring wasn't huge. The proposal wasn't filmed or choreographed, but it was ours. Quiet, sincere. We started planning our wedding, booked a vineyard venue, made a registry, and toured houses on the weekends. It was everything I thought I wanted. Then came Stella. Stella was a leftover from my wilder years. She thrived on chaos. She'd always made sly digs about Nathan, calling him Mr. Predictable or Captain Beige. She'd say I was settling, that I was too young to be shackled to routine. Sometimes I'd laugh it off. Other times, I'd wonder if she was right. When Stella called me out of nowhere and suggested a quick trip to Vegas, just us and another friend, Jenna, from my office, I didn't think twice. Just 3 women letting loose before one of us became a wife. Nathan wasn't thrilled. I could see it in his eyes when he dropped me off at the airport. But he didn't try to stop me. He just smiled, kissed me goodbye, and said, "Be safe. Have fun." That should have been my warning. Vegas hit like a shot of adrenaline to the heart. At 2 p.m., Stella was ordering tequila shots at the airport bar. Jenna, who was more level-headed, gave her a withering look. I floated somewhere in between, trying to balance the friend I used to be with the woman I'd become. That night, we hit a high-end lounge Stella had picked out. Blick lighting, expensive suits, cocktails that tasted like danger. We met a group of men, charming, articulate, obviously well off. They bought us drinks, asked about our lives, made me feel seen in a way I hadn't in months. I should have told them right away I was engaged. I didn't. One guy, Marcus, focused on me like I was the only woman in the room. He told me I was stunning, that I didn't look like this settling down type. I laughed it off, but I was listening. When I finally mentioned Nathan, he just smiled and said, "Engaged isn't married." They invited us to their suite. Jenna was uneasy. Stella was already halfway to the elevator. I hesitated, but I followed. The suite was opulent. Champagne chilled, music low, windows stretching across the skyline like something out of a movie. Felt surreal, like we'd stepped out of our real lives and into a fantasy where nothing mattered. I had too much to drink. Way too much. I remember laughing, dancing, sitting too close to Marcus on a velvet couch. I remember Jenna trying to pull me aside, saying it was time to go. I told her to leave without me. She gave me this look, part heartbreak, part warning, and walked out. The next part is foggy, but not foggy enough. I crossed the line I swore I never would. I don't know what I was chasing. Validation, excitement, control. But whatever it was, I sacrificed everything for it. When I woke up the next morning in that suite, alone in a stranger's bed, I felt like my soul had been scraped out. Crept back to our room. Jenna was already awake. She didn't speak, just looked at me like I'd become someone she didn't recognize. Stella was all sunshine and lipstick stains, boasting about her night, oblivious. Jenna said nothing on the flight back. I clung to the idea that Nathan never had to know, but he already did. The moment I walked through our front door, I knew. He wasn't angry, not outwardly. He was calm, cold. He looked me in the eyes and said, "Jenna called. She told me everything." My knees buckled. I tried to lie, to minimize, to say Jenna had misunderstood. But Nathan had already seen the truth in my eyes. He didn't yell, didn't rage. He just said, "I need time." That hurt more than anything else could have. In the days that followed, he went silent. He moved into the guest room, canceled the wedding, gave back the deposits, told his parents. His mom, the same woman who once called me her future daughter, wouldn't even speak to me. When Nathan finally moved out, he didn't say goodbye, just left his key on the counter. I tried to move on, dated around, drank more, partied more, pretended I didn't care, but I did. And the worst part, no one forgave me. My own family turned on me when they found out. My sister called me selfish. My dad said I'd broken something you can't glue back together. 2 months later, I ran into Nathan's mother at a hardware store. She looked thinner, tired. She asked me what really happened in Vegas. I told her everything. I don't know why. Maybe I needed someone to hear me. When I finished, she didn't scold me. She just looked disappointed. She said they'd planned to give us the same backdoll $8,000 down payment they gave Nathan's sister for her first house, but now they were donating it to a charity for domestic violence survivors. She said, "We no longer trust your judgment, and we won't reward it." That broke me. Not the money, the finality of it, the cold, quiet way. They erased me from their family. Eventually, I left town, moved to Houston, started fresh. New job, new apartment, no ghosts from Vegas, no whispers behind my back, but the guilt followed me. Even now, 8 months later, I lie awake some nights and wonder, did I destroy something real for something empty? Was I always destined to ruin good things? Will I ever be someone who's trusted again? I don't know. All I know is this: one night can cost you everything. And forgiveness, it's not guaranteed, not even if you beg for.